All right, so I'm gonna read to you, it's like an epilogue. It's information at the very end of the story. It's called My Titanic Story. It says, this book is a work of historical fiction. That means that all of the facts about the Titanic are true, but the main characters came from my imagination. George, Phoebe, Aunt Daisy, Marco, and Enzo are based on people I learned about while I was researching the Titanic. By the time I finished writing this book, they sure felt real to me. I can see George now relaxing in the little boat he and Papa built, rowing around their pond, while Phoebe watches from the shore reading a book about dinosaur fossils. I can picture Aunt Daisy and Marco's wedding, how Enzo would run down the aisle with a huge grin on his face. That's my favorite part of being a writer, giving my characters happiness in the end. If only I could do the same for the 1,517 people who didn't survive the sinking of the Titanic. What a sad and terrible story. One day, as I was trying to finish the book, I needed a break, so I went to New York City with my 11-year-old son, Dylan. We stopped to rest in one of my favorite neighborhoods in a tiny park on West 106th Street and Broadway, with trees and a bronze statue of a woman lying on her side. I read the gold writing engraved on the marble bench, and to my surprise, I saw that the entire park was a memorial for two famous New Yorkers who had died on the Titanic, Isidore and Ida Strauss. I couldn't forget the Titanic, it seemed, not even for an afternoon. And nearly 100 years later, the world hasn't forgotten either. Facts about the Titanic. More has been written about the Titanic than any other disaster in modern history. I tried to include as much information as I could in the book, but here are some more amazing facts that I wanted to share with you. The Titanic was the largest ship, the largest moving object ever built. It weighed close to 50,000 tons and was 11 stories tall and 4 city blocks long. There were 2,229 people on board, 1,316 passengers, and 913 crew. Survivors included 498 passengers and 215 members of the crew. The passengers came from 28 different countries, including many from America, England, Ireland, and Finland. There were a few passengers from China, Japan, Mexico, and South Africa. Most of the crew members were from England and Ireland. There were 9 dogs on the Titanic. They stayed in kennels, but their owners could not take them out onto the decks for walks. 2 Pomeranians and 1 Pekingese survived with their masters. After the sinking of the Titanic, laws were changed to require all ships to carry enough lifeboats for every passenger and crew member. For decades, divers, scientists, and treasure hunters searched for the wreck of the Titanic. It was finally located in 1985 by a team led by U.S. scientist Robert Ballard, 2.5 miles below the surface of the sea. Ballard and his team did not take anything from the wreck. Dr. Ballard believes the Titanic should rest in peace as a memorial to those who died, but he couldn't stop treasure hunters from diving to the wreck and removing thousands of artifacts, jewelry, dishes, clothes, even the ship's hull. What do you think about this? Do you think the Titanic should be brought to the surface or left in peace?